Well, it's summertime and it's the Pacific Northwest. And if you're a 360 sprint car fan, you know what time it is. It's time for Speedweek Northwest, but it's Speedweek Northwest North. What does that mean? We're going to talk about that in this episode of Track Talk with series director Heather Boyce, and that's coming up after these messages. Dave's Home Supply specializes in cabinets, flooring, and countertops. Visit their website at daveshomesupply.com to look at products, services, financing, and even a free estimate. Are you looking for bookkeeping, payroll, or income tax services? Then check out the folks at For You Simple Bookkeeping. They are a licensed tax preparer throughout the entire United States. For more information, click on the link in the description. This broadcast is brought to you by Meat Freaks Jerky Club. Get the best jerky the world has to offer straight to your door by visiting meatfreaksjerkyclub.com. Pick your box and plan, tell them where to ship, and receive and enjoy. Log on to meatfreaksjerky.com and use promo code SPEED. Joining me for Track Talk, it is Heather Boyce, the director of the Western Sprint Tour. And Heather, it's that time of year again. It's time for Speedweek Northwest, and it's just days away.
Yes, it is. We're really excited to kick things off in just a few days at Grays Harbor with a couple days up there, and then keep on moving through Oregon and back to Washington.
Yeah, kind of a throwback to 2007 with the NSCS, where it started at it was supposed to start. It ended up raining out, and then it went down to Oregon, and then capped off with the Summer Nationals at Skagit. Yeah,
it is. It's definitely a throwback to that year that Shauna Wilski ran it and had a pretty cool extended speed week. It's a little bit longer than we normally do, but we're very excited to hit some tracks we haven't been to in a while.
Yeah, Grays Harbor Raceway, Bert Johnson, the promoter there. Two nights of competition, and it's a Saturday-Sunday deal, not a Friday-Saturday deal. It's a Saturday-Sunday.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So that's a little different too. Saturday, Sunday, both nights are paying really well there. So we're really thankful to both of these weekend tracks for kicking up a bunch of money and making these races even better.
And then Monday night, going to Sunset Speedway Park in Banks, and I feel terribly unprepared, but I'm pretty sure that's their only wing sprint car race of as far as 360s are concerned for 2023.
I do believe you are correct. Yeah. And Sunset's been kind of a mainstay on the Speed Week schedule the last few years. And they're always a great little tight bull ring to go to. And it's a really fun place. Jeremy Means and Jerry Schramm have done a great job with that place. And we're excited to get back there as well. And then Tuesday and Wednesday, Cottage Grove Speedway, your house gets a we
couple
come
of
home.
Nights. Yeah. Get a couple nights in there.
Yeah. Last year we tried something new, and we think we had 4 nights of Speed Week at Cottage Grove, and that was great, but that was a lot. So we're excited to hit some other tracks and just have 2 nights back here. And it's going to be great. We're going to have a couple great nights of racing, and we love when we can bring all these guys back to Cottage Grove.
And Thursday's a travel day, but back at it Friday. Well, actually, they're going to have the kickoff party at Bob's Burgers, but Bob's Burgers and Brew in Burlington. But then it'll be Summer Nationals at Skagit Speedway again. Yes,
it will. And Summer Nationals was part of Speed Week last year. Actually, started Speed Week off last year. Mm-hmm. If I'm remembering correctly. Correct me if I'm wrong, Ben.
No, you're correct.
So it's great to have Speed Week be a part of that big event, and it's going to be huge this year. They're paying $12,000 to win on Saturday, so it's a great way to cap off Speed Week. And big thank you to Peter Murphy and Kevin Rudine and everybody up there at Skagit for putting that together and including it in our Speed Week.
Well, Grays Harbor and Cottage Grove have been staples of Speed Week, and then right around 2008 or so, if my history is telling me the correct things, at least my memory, anyways, Sunset came in the fold. But when it comes to Skagit Speedway, that is historically a non-Speed Week track for one reason or the other. It just never was. Like 2007, it was. And then last year, coming back into the fold, what was that conversation like, or was that a difficult conversation to get Skagit with with Speedweek in 2022?
Yeah, no, it wasn't really difficult at all. We sat down at the promoter meetings, and Peter and John, who works up there too, were excited to have it and wanted to be part of some of these things. And so it was a pretty great conversation, and we were happy to make it work and to have such a big event kick things off last year and then finish things out this year. And I think they definitely were excited to be part of Speedweek, because like you said, Skagit has not, I don't know if it's just that it's so much further away, or there's a lot of tracks, which is actually why we have 2 Speedweeks this year. Sometimes it's hard to get to everybody, but Skagit's been great to work with, and have wanted to be part of it since the first conversation came up.
And that's great. I think it's a great thing added. It's a sprint car base track, which that helps. That means you got a group of cars already, a pool to pull from, and
absolutely,
and some tough competitors too.
Yeah, there definitely is. They've got a lot of talent up there in Northern Washington, and I know we're going to pull some California talent for Speedweek like we always do. And then you mix the Oregon guys in, and you've got a really good group of drivers, super talented people out there racing, and all of these shows should be pretty exciting to watch and be a part of. And I don't think you can count anybody out or pick a winner at this point. I think there's just too many talented drivers showing up for this deal.
Yeah, no doubt. You mentioned California caliber drivers coming up. Their big weekend is canceled for the Sprint Car Challenge Tour at Silver Dollar Speedway. No doubt that's possibly going to help, because some of my friends that I've been hanging out with all year long, sounds like they are going to make the journey up.
Yeah, I know originally there were guys that weren't going to be able to start until Cottage Grove because of the race down there. So, we're really, it's unfortunate that they had to cancel, and we really feel for those guys at Chico. They've had a rough year of not getting a lot of races, but we're also thankful that they did it early enough that their drivers can make other plans. I think that was a pretty great move by those guys down there. And so we're excited to see a few more join us for the whole week and pick up those that can't when we pick them up. And we're just really excited to see everybody and get back to Speedweek.
And it sounds like a pretty strong contingent of Canadian drivers as well making the journey. Kind of, that's always been sort of a staple as well. A lot of foreign racers competing for Speedweek.
That has been, yeah. We've always had some Canadian teams down here, and Doug Bruce has always been a huge supporter of Speedweek, so we're happy he'll be able to join us again. And I think including Skagit in the mix helps with that, because these guys can travel from Grays Harbor to Sunset to Cottage Grove and then back to Skagit. They're almost home, so makes it a little easier for them to compete. I know we also have some Montana guys coming this year, so we're just really excited to get everybody back here. Some guys that haven't done it in a while, some new guys. It's going to be a great week of racing.
I know that he's talked to me a lot, but Dominic Selzy, he's super excited to go to Sunset Speedway Park in Banks. And I'm wondering how much he's going to have to throw back to some of his micro days.
Yeah. Sunset's definitely a tricky place for people that haven't been there. I don't think they realize how tight it is until they actually get there. But Sunset has given us some great racetracks and had some pretty great events as well. So I talked to Dominic too, and he did say the same thing. He's excited to check a couple more tracks off of his bucket list and come up for this deal.
And you touched on it a few minutes ago. This is the northern version of Speedweek. For the first time ever, there's 2 Speedweek Northwest. This is Speedweek Northwest North. And then Speedweek Northwest South is going to be after Knoxville. It'll be later in August. How did that come to being, I guess I should say?
Well, it kind of was just like I was saying. There were too many tracks wanting to be involved in Speedweek and not enough days to do it. So we had the idea of maybe having 2 of them. We've always kind of wanted to go into California with this Speedweek because it's always been so heavily supported by California drivers. So we just we set our north one up and then looked at some dates, and Chico and Placerville gave us a couple dates the end of August. So we just May to Speed Week. That one's going to start August 21st at Cottage Grove and head right on down through Coos, Roseburg, Medford, and then to Chico and Placerville. So that's going to be a full week of racing, no travel days, no days off, and go to a lot of tracks we haven't been to with the Western Sprint Tour before. So I'm pretty excited about that one as well.
Yeah, that one's going to be super cool, and I know there's a lot of interest, and there's a lot of drivers excited for that, specifically California teams.
Yeah, I think they're pretty excited to be able to do the Speed Week and end up back at home with some of their tracks. And like I said, the California teams have really supported Speed Week for the last probably 10 years or close to it. It's been primarily California drivers that have run for the whole week. So we're just excited to take something back a little closer to them and make it a little easier on them to come up and then race their way back home.
Yeah, no doubt. That one favors them to where they just got to do the long drive first, and then it gets proverbially shorter as the week goes.
Yes.
So
yes, exactly.
We'll go back to the Speedweek Northwest North. There's a point fund available. What are some details of that?
There's a $7,000 point fund. So every track puts in $1,000 for every one of the races they have. 7 races, $7,000. You got to attend every race of Speed Week to qualify for any of that point fund money. So we aren't exactly sure of the breakdown because we don't know how many guys are going to run the whole week, and we want to try to get a little something to anybody who does. But it usually is a pretty decent payout, and we're looking at probably a couple thousand of that at least will go towards to the winner, and then it'll go down from there. But just an extra thing on top of the money to throw in. And so between all of the A-main payouts and that point fund, there's $130,000 of purse money over these next few days.
Which is amazing, which is astounding.
Yeah.
And,
yes, it's wonderful.
And, it gets lost in the shuffle a lot because on the national level or even, kind of the regional level, you hear about this race is paying this much, this much, this much. There is some very good paydays for these Speed Week races.
There is, yeah. And, we really got to thank Grays Harbor and Skagit for paying some really good purses on those weekend shows. And then, Sunset and Cottage Grove filling in with weekday shows, which are a tough draw. It's tough to get fans and drivers and everything to those weekday shows. So $2,000 to win on a weekday in between these big events is pretty great as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I assume there'll be a souvenir trailer where there's going to be some apparel for sale? Okay.
There will be some apparel for sale, yep. In fact, Austin Wheatley at Vapor Trail is working on all that stuff for us, or Downforce Designs, is working on all that stuff for us right now, and we'll pick it up on our way to Grays Harbor and have it available at all these races. And he did a great job with it. It looks really good.
So for some folks that may be listening to the podcast, or perhaps they'll be watching the broadcast on the pay-per-views, if they can't make it, let's just say they live across the country, but they want to support you by buying some apparel, is there an outlet for that right now?
We don't have it like an online store setup or anything, but my information is pretty easily accessible. They can shoot me a message or email, or even just a Facebook message to Cottage Grove Speedways or Western Sprint Tour, any of these things, and we're happy to mail stuff out if there is somebody who wants to get some apparel. We'll get some pictures of it posted up once we get it, and because they are pretty cool. They do look pretty great.
Awesome. No doubt we'll be trying to drum up the online sales throughout the week.
Yeah, wonderful. No, that's great. That's something we definitely need to work on our online sales situation, but we're happy to accommodate people however they need to get stuff.
Anything that I didn't ask you that you think should be shared by chance?
You're so great at covering everything. No.
Okay. Yeah,
I think we got it.
I check all the boxes, and sometimes there isn't even a box I created, so I to check. So
Right. Yeah.
But well, it's awesome. Are there any sponsors or any folks that you want to thank too that have helped you make this possible? Because I know it's just, I mean, you're a person that is able to take on a lot to begin with, but I know that that this deal it takes multiple people.
We don't actually have any Speed Week sponsors, which is unfortunate. We really wish we did, and then we could just pay out even more money. So really, I just got to thank all the tracks that are coming together and making this happen. All 4 of these racetracks are putting in quite a big chunk of money to pay for these, and I'm sure they have their own sponsors for these. I know, like Skagit, it's their Bob's Burgers weekend, so I know that's a big sponsor up there. But really, just look at what sponsors these tracks have and support them, because without these tracks, Speed Week doesn't happen, and we just can't thank them all enough for being part of it.
Okay, well, looking forward to it. And then for folks that want to follow along, Western Sprint Tour on Facebook, correct? That's a good outlet.
Yep, Western Sprint Tour on Facebook is where we'll try to get everything posted. I do have a couple extra people going along on Speed Week this year, so hopefully we'll be able to get more results and different kind of fun things posted on that Western Sprint Tour Facebook page. And then you'll probably have to help me out here with the pay-per-view at Grays Harbor and Skagit, because right off the top of my head, I cannot remember the name of both of their pay-per-views.
I think Skagit for sure is going to be Dirt Oval TV. Grays Harbor, I think, is either going to be a simulcast with their platform. That's, as of right now, this recording, undecided.
Okay. All right. So yeah, and then the rest of the week will be on Dirt Oval TV as well. So, but to catch Grays Harbor, if it's not on Dirt Oval, you can always go to their website or their Facebook and find out where to follow along there. And yeah, if you can't be at the races, check them all out on pay-per-view and support them that way. They'll definitely be good shows.
Absolutely. Well, thanks a lot, Heather. Really looking forward to this week of racing, and I'll see you Saturday.
Awesome. Sounds good. Thanks, Ben.
Well, we hope you enjoyed the interview, race fans. Again, be sure and hit like, subscribe, and get the latest and greatest news, whether it's getting up to speed, Inside NARC, or Sprint Car News today. If you subscribe on the YouTube channel, it'll get you those notifications as soon as all the new episodes come out. In the meantime, everybody, have a great rest of your day, night, whatever time you're listening, and we'll be back next time with more stuff from Highside Racing Promotions.